Today, our Super Bowl on American Gladiators, the Grand Championship. Let's go back to the first half of the season. Mark Ortega, the Southern California former prep football star running back, methodically sliced through the competition with his O.J. Simpson-like moves. He's had a few months to prepare, and if you remember Mark, you know he's ready for the biggest day of his life. Joseph Bam Bam Morrow, the baker from Brooklyn, shaped and baked his way to the Grand Championship. Today is the ultimate test. With so much on the line, Joe can only look within. He'll have to dig deep and find that special Flatbush flash if he is to win.
It ain't over till it's over.
Remember that familiar motto? Kimberly Lentz, the American Express customer rep from New York City, was the cardiac kid on her road to winning the first half final.
Be on your toes, Kathy. I'm not going to lag behind today.
Kathy Malika won the second half title without having to look over her shoulder. She's a Southern California firefighter with nerves of steel. She's on pins and needles today. This is the Grand Championship. Kimberly Lentz will be right on her tail. It's showtime, the American Gladiators Grand Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Gladiator Arena in Los Angeles, California, here are your American Gladiators. This is the place for lace, thunder, flame, nitro, storm, laser, ice, baby, jump, Gemini. Presents the American Gladiators. Let the games begin.
When our competition began last fall, 48 contenders were aiming for the heavens. Today, 4 remain. They have fulfilled their lofty expectations. They have reached the American Gladiator Grand Championship. Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle, along with NFL Hall of Famer Larry Zonka. And Larry, I imagine for Kimberly Lentz, Kathy Malika, Joe Morrow, and Mark Ortega, this must be the biggest moment in their athletic lives.
Mike, the only comparison I have, the obvious one, is the Super Bowl. It's not just the money, it's the pride of being the best. We have 4 contenders that strive to be the very best, but after today, only 2 will survive.
Larry, let's focus first on the men. Joe and Mark, evenly matched, equally tough.
Mike, both of these fellas have demonstrated their ability to concentrate on their performance, rule everything else out. You know, Joe with his focus, Mark responding to the emotionalism of the crowd. Today's going to be a super test for both of them.
Joe, the Brooklyn bad boy, pays his bills making fine cakes and pastries, but he's been anything but a cream puff. He has roared through his competition and is coming off a sensational performance in that second half final match against Darryl Golar. That's how he got to this Grand Championship.
Mark Ortega, on the other hand, well, he's the California good guy. He's the Jack Armstrong of our male contenders. Brought his friends and family, seemingly very unemotional on the outside. He squeaked through some real cliffhangers to get here. But when that crowd of his family and friends starts to holler, Ortega gets with the program.
Well, Larry, we start this Grand Championship off with swing shot, and we introduce a new gladiator, Viper. He'll be atop one of those towers. He'll be joined by Thunder and his partner, Nitro. Once again, the contenders will leap from their towers, spring from those bungee cords, and shoot for that center cylinder and the red, blue, or yellow scoring balls.
And this is one event Mark Ortega excels at. We call him the king of swing here. He's the only contender to ever bound from the floor of the arena all the way up, taking a red ball. Not only once, but twice. He definitely has an edge.
This is it, the Grand Championship on the line. Mark Ortega, Joe Bam Bam Morrow set to go.
Bam Bam's got a yellow.
Here comes Ortega again, leaping high. Oh, just had the red. Our Gladiators doing a great job of getting beyond the cylinder and defending against our contenders. Ortega picks off a blue. Bam Bam's got another yellow. Ortega again. Again, the blue ball's worth 3, yellow worth 1, and you have to deposit them back in those scoring pods up there. Joe missed his chance on that last one.
He was very close. Mikey tried to loft it in. It bounced off the rim, went off the platform.
20 seconds to go. Ortega with another blue.
He's trying for a red. Now he's got it in his mouth, and he's went wide of his platform. He's stuck. We only have 10 seconds left. He has to get up there and deposit it. He's got it in.
Got one last chance. Here they go. Mark got one as time expired. Viper had him around the collar. And that's the end of that. But what a game of swing shot. And as always in Bam Bam's corner, his fiancée, Melissa Burnham. She's been here throughout the entire tournament. Mark Ortega, not without plenty of support as well.
And let's check out Viper. This is his first experience at this particular event. And does he learn fast? He knocks Mark right out of the way there. But don't take anything away from Mark. He's cool under fire. He's after the red, can't reach it. Well, I'll take a blue.
Well, the women are set to go. Look at Kathy Malika, who is going from the frying pan of the second half finals to the fire of the Grand Championship. She should feel right at home given her occupation. And she gets inspiration by reading the words of legendary Green Bay Packer coach Vince Lombardi.
On the other hand, we have Kimberly Lentz, the comeback kid. It ain't over till it's over. She's had an uphill battle all the way, had to depend on that athletic ability to turn things around in the Eliminator. Well, today she vows to have someone else deal with that handicap. She plans to lead.
And the 3 gladiators that Kathy and Kimberly will have to deal with: Diamond, Ice, and Storm.
Contenders ready! Gladiators ready!
Here they go. The first event. Kathy Malika with the blue ball in the first half finals. Kimberly Lentz rang up 15 points in this event. But right now, it's Kathy who's doing all the scoring. Again, the yellow ball's worth 1, blue 3, red 5.
Kimberly's there, but so's Storm. Kathy grabs the yellow and loses it. Kimberly having a little trouble getting back to her platform.
Storm, a great athlete.
Time Diamond denying Kathy the yellow ball.
Remember Ice telling us in the Gladiator locker room how determined they were going to be. This is their Grand Championship. They're doing a great job of keeping both Kathy and Kim away from that cylinder.
Diamond and Storm seem to have the tempo in this thing. Seems like every time one of the contenders up there, one of them are there to say no.
Less than 10 seconds. And that is it. And Kimberly Lentz was worried about falling behind early, but apparently that's what's happened. Kathy Malika wins this swing shot event.
But if you look at the right side of your screen, you'll see Diamond stealing one of the balls. That's an infraction. Larry Thompson, our referee, awards both contenders a point.
Final count, Kathy 5, Kimberly 1. Up next, Atmosphere. We are back with more of our Grand Championship. Kathy Malika with a 5-1 lead over Kimberly Lentz after one event. And now it's time for Atmosphere. Look at Kathy as she gets inside her yellow sphere. Kimberly will be inside the red one. Scoring for this event, each goal worth 3 points as the contenders try to motor their Atmospheres into one of 4 numbered scoring pods. The 2 gladiators, they will face Lace and Ice. Their fiancé Warren there as well. We're set to go.
Ready! Gladiators ready!
Bada bing, bada boom. Ice with the big shot on Kimberly Lentz. Now they're both going for scoring pod number 3 and knock each other out.
Kathy Malika with a breakaway move heading for pod number 2. Can she trip the sensor? Nope, she rolls around the edge, doesn't get the score.
Here's Kim in pod number 4. She misses the sensor as well.
Kathy in pod 1, same deal. Out on the edge, denied the score.
Again, keep your eye on the black button in the middle of those scoring pods. Those are the sensors. That's what the contenders have to roll over. Kim's finally got one. And 2. Now she's going for 4. Scoring pod number 4.
Oh, the Gladiator knocked her into it. Ice put her over the mound.
5 seconds seconds remaining. This is exactly what Kimberly Lentz needed. She got it, picking up 2 goals for 6 points. Kathy Malika gets shut out, and so now Kim, after 2 events, has a 7-5 lead.
And Kimberly's all smile. It ain't over till it's over. The come-from-behind kid. She has a tough beginning right here, and so's Kathy. They knock heads, and no one gets anything. But then Kimberly getting a little help from Ice. She can't quite get it into the pod. Ice comes along and says, how about a little boost? Kimberly says, I'll take it.
Well, the men are up in Atmosphere, a real Achilles heel for Mark Ortega. He scored only 1 goal in 4 previous rounds. It's not going to get any easier here in the Grand Championship. He has to deal with Laser and Thunder. Heavy bangers, to say the least. Mark does have a 9-5 lead.
Gladiators, ready!
Again, 60 seconds to score as many times as we can. Laser rocks Joe Morrow. Thunder does the same to Mark Ortega.
Bam Bam with a move on pod 1, but he's denied. They've got him boxed into a corner here. Ortega coming clean. He's got a shot at pod number 1.
Listen to his cheering section go wild. Here goes Joe towards scoring pod number 3. Yes! 10 seconds to go.
Ortega being shadowed by Thunder. Clock runs out.
So another tough go-around for Mark Ortega. Joe Morrow wins at 6-3, and now that leads just a single point. A lot more Grand Championship action left to come. Up next, the joust. Mike Adamle and Larry Zonka back with you with more of our Grand Championship as the American Gladiators continues. Right now, we're set for the men's joust. Up first will be Mark Ortega, who leads Joe Morrow after 2 events, 12-11. One of Mark's staunch supporters, maybe his staunchest supporter, his fiancée, Diane Duran. That's the good news. The bad news, he draws Gemini. There's his record. This man, the prince of pugil sticks. Lost to Gemini back in the 2nd round. Mark can knock Gemini off that platform in 30 seconds or less. He can pick up 10 points. Look at this, Ortega, off balance. But he survives, he recovers, now he's going on the attack. Loses his pugil stick. Automatic DQ, no points for Mark Ortega.
I agree totally with you, Diane. He did a great job maintaining his balance early. Then he goes on the offensive. A little setback. He loses the stick, cost him the match.
Now Joe Morrow will get his chance.
Look at the look on Gemini's face. He's intimidating just standing there, Mike. You know, this is his baby. This is what he likes to do.
Joe's fiancée, Melissa, looking on.
On guard!
Hoping that Bam Bam can go boom, boom to Gemini.
Bam Bam wastes no time. He goes on the offensive. He said he doesn't want to get hit. He's taking the other coin. He's not ducking. He's trying to deliver. Doing a pretty good job.
He gave Gemini some great shots. Now Gemini coming back. Joe goes to one knee. Now off the platform. It wasn't as quick as Gemini is accustomed to, but he got the job done again. So Joe Morrow and Mark Ortega both get shut out. And talk about contrasting rooting sections. Joe's fiancée Melissa on the left, Mark Ortega, his competition on the right. Listen to this. Mark gets his wish, Melissa doesn't get hers. The women are now set to joust, and Kathy Malika is up first on the tail end of a 7-5 score. This has become a real family affair here on the American Gladiators. The entire Malika clan on hand. There's Kathy's mom, Carol, wearing the championship medal she won for winning the second half finals, and Kathy draws Zap.
Kathy, the only female member of the Orange County Brea Fire Department. There's a shot of her in her working duds. You can bet all her male buddies are pulling for her.
On guard!
She's dealing with Zap. Again, the contender has 30 seconds to knock the Gladiator from that platform. big roundhouse.
That two-handed come around from Zapp almost swept Kathy off the platform.
10 seconds left, Larry.
There, she got it! She got it!
And Carol Malika, will you try to get a little more excited? Kathy now regains the lead after 3 events.
Kathy with that overhand smash destroys Zapp's concentration, and nearly her stall takes advantage of the moment and pushes Zapp's stick away.
However, with 10 points, Kimberly Lentz could jump right back into that lead. There's her record in the joust, 1-1. In her previous joust efforts, she drew against ice in the prelims, lost to Diamond in the second round. Like Kathy Malika so far, Kimberly Lentz a handful for Zapp. Kim taking Zapp's best shots.
And standing tall. Ooh, Zapp coming with that roundhouse.
Zapp's in trouble. 5 seconds to go. Look, there's that big shot. Kim goes.
Kim anticipated it. Oh!
She's off,
Oh,
but she
the ref
stayed
buzzing.
on for the full 30 seconds. She got the 5 points. But that was close.
Kimberly not only tough, but smart. She knows the competition, and she knows what's coming here. Zapp telegraphs that punch.
Kimberly does a little telegraphing of her own as Zapp ducks, but comes back with that counter punch. That one sends Kim back to the platform. Then this lunge. The time had expired, and Kim Lentz earned the draw. We are halfway through our Grand Championship. 3 events to come, plus the all-important Eliminator, and our 2 competitions have been extremely close. Mark Ortega with a 1-point lead over Joe Morrow. Kathy Malika leads Kimberly Lentz by 3. Larry, your impression so far?
Well, over on the ladies' side, Kimberly already having to fight her way back into the winner's circle, not letting Kathy getting out too far, and she's done that. She came back in atmosphere very, very well. On the men's side, well, just what we imagined. It's going to be a fight right down to the wire. Gemini coming through on his promise to make things tough. He did so in joust. We're going to go down now and talk to Mark Ortega down in the contenders locker room. Mark, we're aware of your football background over at Whittier High School. You're going to have to draw a little on that to go through Powerball.
Yeah, definitely. Powerball is very much like football. It kind of reminds me of the old days when the big old linebackers are chasing me. I'm going to have to utilize my speed and quickness to get around them and get away from a direct confrontation from them.
Well, let's go back several months to our first half season and take a look at some of Mark's speed and quickness, Larry.
He doesn't employ mild technique. He doesn't take him on with the shoulder. He does that little OJ move and comes back against the grain, and it's successful for him.
And it leaves the Gladiators usually grasping for air. But they'll be tough this time around. We're set to play Powerball. Laser, Viper, and Nitro will do the honor. Mark nursing that 1-point lead. Scoring breakdown, goals in the center cylinder worth 5 points, a goal in the outer cylinder worth 3. 45 seconds to score as many times as you can. Joe Morrow, great move there on Laser. Here goes Mark. He's had 2 potential scores roll off those cylinders. There he gets one.
Joe tries that move on Viper. Viper doesn't go for it, but Mark puts one in the corner.
Again, that center cylinder is worth 5 points. If they can get there, they'll really be making some hay. Joe getting tied up by Nitro. There's Mark. Laser told us about all-important communication. There he was going solo. Had no help against Mark. Mark gets by Viper.
Nice move by Mark. Little running back move. Whoopsie Doodle gets it in the corner.
That's it. And Mark Ortega has increased his overall lead with a victory here in Powerball. Our contenders and Gladiators in a display of mutual admiration. Some early confusion caused a slow start. Mark and Joe crisscross again, and nearly wind up banging heads.
Joe's bumping into everybody. He comes out of that one unscathed, takes Nitro on. Nitro says, hey, you're not getting away from me. Give me the ball. But here he does a nice job with all those moves of getting away from Laser and picking up the gold.
The women are on deck, and Kathy Malika nursing a 3-point lead, 15-12. Doesn't have great straight-ahead speed. Kimberly Lentz a little bit faster in her 40-yard dash time, but quickness is the name of the game in Powerball. they'll have to deal with Ice, Blaze, and Diamond.
Ready!
Kim feels like Powerball's her best event.
Tries to throw a ball in over Ice's shoulder. Unsuccessful. Nice
Nice
makes
move
a nice
there.
move.
Pass Diamond by Kim Lentz.
Nice move on Diamond. Gets that corner pod. Tries to muscle by Ice, and Ice says no way.
Kathy gets by Diamond.
2-on-1. Look at that. Look at that. Kimberly, that open shot for the corner and picks it up.
Again, the Gladiators just a bit disorganized. As Laser mentioned, communication the key for them. 5 seconds to go. Kathy with a last-second buzzer beater that doesn't beat the buzzer, and that's it.
Buzzer beater.
Also checking to see if all of her teeth are intact as the Gladiators offer congratulations to one another. Kathy wins it and now leads 24-18.
Kathy and Ice demonstrating some classic running back linebacker confrontations. Kathy putting a move on Ice. Ice not going for it. Great middle linebacker form. Lays her down. Kathy unintimidated by it. Comes back, tries it again, and this time picks up the gold.
Kimberly Lentz not awed by Diamond. This was her opening move as she puts the goal in, knocks over the cylinder, and watch her look back to make sure it's in. Our grand championship continues with the Mays. Well, the men are set to solve this puzzling labyrinth we call the Mays. Joe Morrow and Mark Ortega. And the pressure on Bam Bam here. He trails by 7, 24-17.
We'll see how he reacts to that pressure. Go back to Powerball and some of the other events he's been in. He got into that faking mode. Really kind of burned up necessary time trying to make up his mind on which way to go. He can't afford that kind of luxury here.
There are numerous dead ends in this maze, including our Gladiators, Thunder, Gemini, Tower, and Nitro. First man through in 45 seconds or less will pick up 10 points. The second man through, 5. Joe Morrow, Mark Ortega set to go. So are our Gladiators.
Nitro completely hidden. Bam Bam about halfway through. He's going to have to double back. Here comes Gemini. There goes Gemini. Bam Bam pretty well through. Nope, wrong turn, Bam Bam.
So many decisions you have to make on the fly. Thunder's got a hold of Bam Bam now. 10 seconds to go. Here he goes. Joe Morrow's done it. He's got through. Mark Ortega running out of time. 5 seconds to go. He is totally lost.
And totally frustrated, Mike.
And Joe Morrow picks up 10 big points, and after 5 events, has regained the lead, 27-24.
Poor Mark Ortega, he's still frustrated, still trying to find the end of this maze. Joe, on the other hand, cut a pretty straight line through the maze, little off course once or twice. Here, he knows if he can get by Thunder, he's got the 10 points. And hey, Thunder's not going to make it easy for him.
With just 3 events left, the maze very important to Kimberly Lentz. She trails by 8.
And Mike, she's got to make her move. We talked about it the early part of the show. She's behind. Kimberly's 6 points behind. This is the event she has to make her move in because the next event is the wall, and that's where Kathy really excels. So the clock's just about run out on Kimberly right here.
And remember, this is a grand championship for our Gladiators as well. They're going to do their best to stop our contenders. You see them, Lace, Storm, Ice, and Blaze. Kimberly in the red, Kathy in the blue. They've got 45 seconds to get through this puzzle. There are neutral zones that the Gladiators cannot go into. Our referee Larry Thompson warning Lace about chasing after Kathy Malika. 25 seconds left.
Our contenders kind of bottled up together. Now they're splitting apart.
A little like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube by foot.
Kimberly getting close to the end. She's making a wrong turn there. She got to go back.
So many dead ends in here.
Oh, she made the wrong.
5 seconds.
This is frustrating up here.
Ice is there and away. Did she make it?
Kimberly's through. All
Did
right.
she make it? A referee signals that Kimberly did not make it in the allotted time. But I think Larry Thompson is going to review this one. A contender must be completely off the platform to earn 10 points, Larry.
Mike, this is a tough time to have that referee shirt on. The rule states she's got to be off. There's some question about it. I'll tell you, it's tough. We all pull for the contender to beat the odds, but the rules are the rules.
No doubt a nervous wait for Kim. Let's watch the replay again. Notice Kimberly Lentz's left foot is still on the platform. The clock reads 0-0. Now, Kathy Malika picked up no points. She didn't make it through the maze. If Kimberly is awarded the 10 by our referee, she will take the lead going into the next event. Here's the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, after reviewing the tape at great length with the highest possible technical resolution, it has been determined and upheld that Kimberly Lentz failed to negotiate the maze in the 45 seconds. Therefore, no score is awarded.
Kimberly, that's a tough break. You were very close. Came down to the wire one step away. This puts a lot of pressure on you in the wall.
Yeah, I need to make the wall.
Well, are you going to let this bother you? You're going to put it out of your mind and go on?
Well, of course it bothers me, but I'm going to have to just use that strength to make it up that wall.
Ain't over till it's over, kid.
It ain't over till it's over, Law.
We're counting on you.
Thanks.
This is how close it was. Kimberly Lentz just a split second from taking the lead. Instead, it's Kathy who's ahead. Can Kim recover emotionally? We'll find out. The wall is next. Our grand championship continues here on the American Gladiators. The wall is next. Kathy Malika with a 6-point lead over Kimberly Lentz after 5 events. This is Kim's last chance to earn points before the final event, the Eliminator. Now, moments ago in the contenders' locker room, Kim's mom, Bernice, was consoling her daughter after what happened to her in the maze, that close finish. Don't worry, honey. You've been here before. You can come from behind.
Concentration, the name of the game, as Kathy Malika works on her concentration and focus. She's been to the top twice before, and here with the Brea Fire Department, she proves she also knows how to come down.
So much riding on the line. The first woman up in 60 seconds or less will win 10 points. Diamond will follow Kim up the wall. Nice to know that Kim still has her sense of humor intact, despite the setback in the maze. Kathy Malika will be trailed by Ice. Ice all business in this event. Remember in the first half finals, Kathy Malika was so intent on breaking the record in the wall that she lost her focus and fell off. Let's see if it happens here. She's moving extremely well.
Both our contenders flying up the wall. Ice
The
right
women's
on her
record
heel.
held by last year's grand champion Duran Cumberbatch. 31 seconds. This could be in jeopardy right here. Let's see. Kathy's to the top first. She'll make 10 points. If Kim can make it before the time limit expires, she doesn't. She missed out on her chance. And this victory will give Kathy Malika even more breathing room in the Eliminator. She salutes her family watching down below, and boy, you have to feel for Kimberly Lentz, and I think some of the frustration in the maze was lingering here on the wall, Larry.
I think, Mike, when Kimberly sees Kathy go over the top, it kind of breaks her concentration. She momentarily forgets about how important those 5 points could be to her.
So Kathy Malika's lead is now mushroomed to 16 points. The men are set to go. Joe Morrow with a 3-point lead over Mark Ortega after 5 events. Those 2 men at the base of the wall set to go, focused as always. Joe draws Nitro, and in pursuit of Mark Ortega, our first half champion will be Viper.
And Mike, you know from your NFL career, sometimes a whole game, a whole season can come down to one play, and here it is.
Both men excellent in this event. Mark's previous best, 42 seconds. Joe's previous best, 43.
Viper barking at Mark's heels.
He's on the top.
He gets That's 10-point marks. Still with a chance to get 5. He's got plenty of time.
Can't make a mistake here. He needs the 5 points. He's up there. He's got him, Mike.
Very important points for Mark Ortega. He trails 37-29. The next event, the Eliminator, and one of these two men will wear our Grand Championship crown. Welcome back to Gladiator Arena, Los Angeles, California, and the stage is set for our final event, the Eliminator. The women are up first, and in just a few moments, either Kimberly Lentz or Kathy Malika will be crowned our American Gladiator Grand Champion for this season. As it stands right now, Kathy has a 16-point lead on Kim, good for an 8-second head start. Again, according to our Eliminator scoring format, each point worth a half-second in time. Now, Kim, the comeback kid, has been here before. The question is, can she pull another rabbit out of her hat, or has she run out of miracle finishes? Larry's with her right now at the start line. Larry?
Kimberly, this is our 5th get-together. This is getting to be something of a ritual. I don't think you'd want it any other way, would you?
Well, I've never actually started from the left side. It might be bad luck for me, so I think I'll stay over here.
That's a good point. We're looking forward to seeing you compete, and we're looking forward to talking to you at the finish line.
Okay, Larry.
Good luck, girl.
Thank you.
Kimberly Lentz trying to coax a smile, force a smile, but her words don't sound very convincing. I think she knows just how tough Kathy Malika is. There's Kim's mom. Boy, she's been with her every step of the way on the course for the Gladiators, storm and ice, and on the tower above the final straightaway, it'll be lace and diamond. Kathy Malika on the left, Kim Lentz on the right. One of these two women will be our grand champion here on the American Gladiators. Our referee, Larry Thompson, about to start Kathy on her way. Here comes Kim after that huge 8-second deficit. Can she make up the time? Will Kathy Malika make up a mistake? So far, so good. Kathy's fastest Eliminator time, 58 seconds. Kim turned in a 60-second effort in the first half finals.
Kathy's to that zip line. She's away. Kimberly having a few problems getting up to the top of the platform. Now she's away.
That 8-second lead just too big for Kimberly Lentz to overcome. Kathy Malika, the firefighter from Costa Mesa, California, over the last barrier. She is our American Gladiators Grand Champion.
And she walks across. Kimberly Lentz still ducks the ball and crosses the line.
And Larry, what a tournament Kimberly Lentz had. She deserves all the credit in the world as well. Spectacular competitor.
Well, all that reading of Vince Lombardi quotes didn't hurt a thing. Winner never quits, a quitter never wins. Obviously, you're a winner.
I feel like a winner right now there. I sure do.
Well, you paid the price, made the sacrifices, you hung in there. It's been a long haul. I know how nervous you've been. How's it feel to be the American Gladiators Grand Champion?
Awesome. I'm so excited, yes!
Congratulations, gal.
There's Kathy's family, her mom, Carol, her dad, Don, giving her a big kiss, her sister, her little nieces and nephews. Right now, Larry's with Kimberly Lentz, our runner-up, and what an effort she turned in all throughout our American Gladiators competition. Larry?
Kimberly, it's been a delight to watch you, gal. You came from behind. You always had a surprise. This time, just a little bit too big obstacle to overcome.
Well, I knew when it came down to being me and Kathy, it was because we were closely matched. And I was trying to get us at least even so we could start good at the Eliminator. And I knew that would give us a better fight. I didn't make it, but I'm still not sad. I'll just relax in Hawaii and think about it.
All right, gal, that's what I like to see. Congratulations to our runner-up, Kimberly Lentz. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Kimberly Lentz? Have a good time in Hawaii, gal.
An attitude to admire. One of the best contenders we've ever had in the American Gladiators, getting flowers and congratulations from her fiancé, Warren, and her mom, Bernice. The men are waiting in the wings, and after 6 very grueling events of a very even matchup, Joe Morrow leads Mark Ortega by 8 points, good for a 4-second head start. Now, both men are outstanding in this event, the Eliminator, but Mark is the man who has to come from behind. Again, the winner becomes our American Gladiator Grand Champion. Larry's with Mark at the start line.
Mark, I've been watching you compete, you old football player. Let me tell you something, 4 seconds isn't an eternity. I'd be worried if you were on my heels.
You're absolutely right, Larry. The war isn't over. There's one more battle that needs to be won. That's the Eliminator.
You look like you're ready. We'll be watching. Good luck.
Thanks.
And you know, Larry, there's a cauldron of bubbling, fiery competitiveness underneath that cool exterior of Mark's. I'll tell you who's really nervous. The two fiancés, Diane Duran, Mark's fiancée, looks like she's a candidate for some antacid tablets. Melissa Burnham, well, she's been here every step of the way for her Bam Bam. Talking to Mark moments before the Eliminator began, as we look at our Gladiators, he was talking about all the bumps and bruises he sustained, and that nothing was going to stop him from his mission of crossing the finish line first. And Larry, you know Bam Bam feels the same way. As a matter of fact, moments ago, this was Bam Bam in the trainer's room icing a very tender left elbow. You can see he's got that rubberized guard on it right now. Again, he's got the man with the head start. This is for all the marbles. The American Gladiator Grand Championship on the line. Joe Morrow up the treadmill. Here comes Mark. Now Joe pumping his for all he's worth across to the handbike. Can Mark make up the difference? Joe blazing across that spinning cylinder. Mark's right there.
Mark still believes he's in the thick of the hunt. Joe's up on the top. On the platform, he's away on the line. He's opening up even a greater lead.
Bam Bam shaking that blonde mane of his. He can sense victory, but he's struggling on that first wall. Mark Ortega could make up the lead as Joe stumbles between wall 1 and wall 2. Here comes Ortega. This could be close. Joe down the straightaway. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is a photo finish. This is a photo finish.
We got a red call.
The initial signal is that Mark Ortega nipped Joe Morrow at the finish line. At the moment, Mark's family going absolutely wild. They have spilled over to the arena floor. Our referee, Larry Thompson, has got another tough decision to make. They will review this on videotape. Oh, is that close? Now keep in mind, Joe Morrow had a 4-second head start. This is the final straightaway over the final wall. Bam Bam still has the lead. Mark Ortega never gave up. Now watch the finish line, not the yellow tape, but the finish line, the white stripe below the yellow tape. Mark Ortega's left arm extended over it. What's the call going to be? Where was Bam Bam in relationship to that arm? We're still waiting for the decision. Here's another look, and here's the ruling.
In a very, very close race by a matter of a few scant inches, the winner, Mark Ortega, Grand Champion.
I'm going to have a word with Mark Ortega, but right now I'm surrounded by all the Ortegas. May I borrow him for a second? No way am I going to try to rain on this parade, my friend. What a superb effort.
Thanks, Larry. I want to thank God and my family. That was the adrenaline that was flowing through my veins. And I don't know how I did it, but I came out on top.
Mark, I'm going to agree with you. I don't know how you did it either. You closed the gap on the last couple of hurdles, and then you flung yourself over the last hurdle here and literally soared through the air and grabbed the wire just split second ahead of Bam Bam.
That's what I needed to do. I needed to dive from there. I think he had made it across the last barrier before me. I just gave it all I got. I flew across, and I was just hoping that I'd reach the other side.
Mark Ortega, we called you a blue-collar worker. You brought your lunch pail. You earned every point,
Thanks,
man,
Larry.
from one running back
Thanks
to
a lot.
another. I loved it. Great job,
Larry.
and you are American Gladiators grand champion, my friend. Bam Bam, you had a lead, had some problems going into the wall.
Yeah, well, usually they're my strong point, but not today.
I know you're not the kind of guy to make excuses. It just isn't in you.
Not today.
You gave it a great run. We enjoyed watching you. You didn't lose. You were the runner-up. And the fact that you gave it your best and just came that close, a split second.
Well, I'm glad I came this far, and surf's up. That's where I'm headed.
Congratulations, Bam Bam.
How close was it? Mark Ortega won by 0.02 of a second. 4.8.86 to Joe Morrill's 4.8.88. It's a finish we won't soon forget here on the American Gladiators. We'll be back with the closing ceremonies in just a moment. A round of applause for our 4 Grand Championship contenders. Our women's runner-up from New York City, Kimberly Lentz. And our men's runner-up from Brooklyn, New York, Joe Bam Bam Morrow. And now, our American Gladiators grand champions for this season. First, from Costa Mesa, California, our women's grand champion, Kathy Malika. And who will ever forget his finish in the Eliminator? Our men's American Gladiator grand champion for this year, from Fullerton, California, Mark Ortega. Dramatic moments, the kind that only come from athletes who perform beyond what even they imagine. Emotional efforts full of spirit, heart, and determination. That's what the American Gladiators is all about. That's it for this year. For Larry Zonka, I'm Mike Adamle. See you again next season.